Om. 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 गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमम् ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनः शृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्रयवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् नमः आव्याधिनीभ्यो विविध्यन्तेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमवुगणाभ्यस्त्रगं हतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गृत्सेभ्यो गृत्सपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो व्रातेभ्यो व्रातपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो गणेभ्यो गणपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो विरूपेभ्यो विश्वरूपेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो महद्भ्यः क्षुल्लकेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथिभ्यो रथेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमो रथेभ्यो रथपतिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः सेनानिभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः क्षत्रिभ्यः सङ्ग्रहीतृभ्यश्च वो नमो नमस्तक्षभ्यो रथकारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः कुलालेभ्यः कर्मारेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः पुञ्जिष्टेभ्यो निषादेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः यिषुकृद्भ्यो धन्वकृद्भ्यश्च वो नमो नमो मृगयुभ्य श्वनेभ्यश्च वो नमो नमः श्वभ्य श्वपतिभ्यश्च वो नमः Om Sri Sai Ram. Offering my salutations to Sai Panduranga, Sai Vitthal, to bless us all during these auspicious times of Ashadi that conclude with the celebration of the Guru Purnima this coming Saturday. You're all wondering why I chanted suddenly this fourth Anuvakam of Rudram in the middle of this satsang with the saints of life of the saints of Pandharpur. My connection to this Anuvakam of Rudram came because of who we are going to study today. The journey into the life of Chokka Mela. As I just say that name, my voice becomes shaken. You are seeing him on the altar today, distinctly. This Chokka Mela, Sokha Mela, that's the way it is pronounced. When we were doing this, one time I was doing this Rudram study, I was asking Bhagavan why in the center of this Rudram, in this fourth Anuvakam, there is description of Mahadbhyaha, the realized, Shullakebhyaha, and those that are uneducated, illiterate, those that are potters, those that are hunters, those that are fishermen, those that are carpenters, those that are all these different professions. Why are all these people described? And I'm saluting to all these people in the middle of the Rudram. Praveen, kindly put video off for all the people. Please pay attention. And the context of it struck me like a boulder when Bhagavan said, all my devotees that are greatest devotees are described in the Rudram. Mahadbhyaha is a Jnandev, Shullakebhyaha is a Tsokkamela. Who is this Tsokkamela who Bhagavan referred to? My mind got intrigued. I never heard of this saint. Of course, I heard Jnanadev, I heard Tukaram, I heard Namadev, I heard Kabir Das, I heard so many saints. Who is this Tsokkamela that Bhagavan specifically mentioned that I should go study? And it is Bhagavan's Leela that right now, as part of the Rudra Jnana Yajna, we are studying this particular Anuvakam and we are contemplating on the love of the Mahadbhyaha, the love of Chullakebhyaha, the love of Nishadebhyaha, the love of Karmarebhyaha, the love of Punjishtebhyaha, the love of all these different professions of people that love and adored God. And I offer my salutations to all these greatest devotees of God, whose life is an incredible inspiration since the beginning of 11th and 12th century. All these great saints, 50 plus saints that belong to this tradition of what is called Varkari in Maharashtra. This next 4 months from Ashad to Kartiki, and Sokkamela describes it, one of his abhangs, from Ashadi to Kartiki, how millions of devotees pour into this Pandharpur. And right now, we can't even pour into Pandharpur, but all our thoughts can do Varkari to this great pilgrim of Pandharpur. Pandharpur means in a place which is as pure as white, and Pandharinath is as pure as white, but yet he looks black in color. And this Varkari means journey to this Pandharpur. 50 plus saints I mentioned that belong to this tradition of Varkari. Few of them that faced tremendous social injustice because they did not belong to the elite caste of Brahmins, in spite of their incredible love and devotion for God. Hence, the story of this Tsokkamela is this paradigm of ambiguity of Hinduism, which on one side, with intellectual spirit, says that God is present in all on one hand, but indulges in this unethical, unjust social praxis of eliminating, isolating the devotees that did not belong to the elite caste. As we study the life of this great Sant Tsokkamela, who belonged to this one of the lowest caste system in the Hindu hierarchy called Mahars. These Mahars are the untouchables. They do not even come into the caste system. They are not belonging to a caste. They are what are called outcasts. They're not even part of the social fold. They're not even included in any social caste. They're outcasts. So when you are an outcast belonging to this Mahars, You are not paid. You are expected to live off the leftovers given by the upper caste. You are denied education. You are denied knowledge of the scriptures. You are denied even access to the facilities of the village, such as using wells, and crucially, even forbidden to enter the temples. Can you imagine if you have love for God and millions of people are going to these temples to worship this God and have his darshan? You have so much yearning for him, but you are stopped at the footsteps of these temples and not even allowed to enter into them. What is the state of your heart and your agony at that point of time when you have to have the darshan of this Lord you are having and you are worshipping? Not much is known about the early life of Soka Mela because, as an outcast, who will document when he is born, where he is born, etc. So, what we are going to know about him is that he probably was born in this place called Mehuna Raja, which is about 300 plus kilometers north of Pandharpur. And for purposes of livelihood, this Soka Mela migrates along with his wife Soyarabai to a place called Mangal Veda, which is about 25-30 kilometers south of Pandharpur. Because of their love for Pandharinath, they at least want to live proximate to Pandharpur. So, because they are outcasts, they cannot even live in the community. There is a separate settlement in which these outcasts live, the Mahars. Chokka was inspired by Namdev as Namdev was going on Varkari to Pandharpur, and then he takes him up as his guru for his love for God and inspired to compose this poetry as we call as abhangs on Pandharinath. So the family, along with his wife Soka Mela, does Varkari pilgrimage to Pandharpur. But when he comes to the temple, when they reach the temple, they were denied permission to enter. And there is a beautiful abhang he composes. Now, when you listen to these abhangs of Choka Mela, on one hand, they are like dual meaning. On one hand, they convey his immense love for Panduranga, but also conveys the social injustice that he had to face as a Mahar. I was just singing this abhang that he composed. Zohar Mabab Zohar, Zohar Mabab Zohar, Zohar Mabab Zohar, Maharatami Mahara Tumcha, Maharatami Mahara Tumcha, Maharatami Mahara. Is referring, standing outside the temple, singing to this Panduranga, "Oh, my mother and father, salutations to you." Zohar is what these outcasts say to upper caste. Zohar, my bap, you are my mother and father. Zohar, salutations to you. Ubhaya namaskara, nama avyadhinibhyo, vivindhyantibhyascha namaha. Zohar, my bap, Zohar is like a yajus in Rudram for me. When I first heard this abhang, I felt I was actually chanting Namo Mahadbhyaha, Chullakebhyascha namaha. Zohar, my bap, Zohar. Salutations to my mother and father. Panduranga, salutations. You know, I am the untouchable to your upper caste. That means what? I am inferior to your inferiors. Maharatsami Mahara. Tumcha Maharatsami Mahara. For your upper caste, I am inferior. So to your inferiors, I am an inferior. I am starved for your love. Bahu bukela jalo. I am starved for your love, Panduranga. That also means I am starved as an outcast. Tumacha Vuchya Sati alo. I came hoping for your leftovers. I came hoping for your mercy. I came your doorstep to get your leftovers. That means what? After everybody has your darshan, if there is any mercy left over, please give it to me. He is also saying as a mahar, I live on leftovers. I am starved for your love. Chokhamane anilipati tumacha vutsya sati. Sokha therefore is saying, I brought with me a basket for the leftovers, for your discarded leftovers. So, brothers and sisters, when I first heard this Abhang, my heart just cried. Who has the permission to stop the love of such a devotee? What an incredible injustice this system of so called elite Hinduism has created. Who has stopped these people to learn Vedas? Why should Vedas belong to just a elite class of few? Why can't Rudram be learned by millions of people across the world and sit at a Homakundam and do yajna? This is the inspiration. This Chokka Mela was my inspiration and my guru to take up this Vedas and bring it to the entire world. Women, children, foreigners, Indians, Brahmins, Shudras, no caste barrier. Everybody, anybody should be offering their love for God, unconditionally offering their love for God. One day, Chokka was standing at the door of the temple from morning till late in the evening. Somewhat unusually, he was really totally cast down, just standing at the door of the temple. Towards the nightfall, obviously, when the night comes, the priests lock up the temple, they lock up the doors, and they went away. Chokka was standing there alone, and he was basically telling Panduranga, he's telling, I don't understand sacred knowledge. I don't understand old texts. I don't understand what scriptures and what Vedas explain. I don't understand the rigid dogmas and restrictions of agamas or the sacred Vedas and the intellectual dispositions of the scriptures. I don't understand any of them, Vitoba. I don't understand yoga. I don't understand yaga. I don't understand austerities. I don't understand the Ashtanga yoga, the prostrations with the 8 parts of the body. I don't understand charity. I don't understand religious vows. I don't understand penance. I don't understand anything, Vittal. I am completely illiterate. But oh my God, my devotion to you is simple and innocent. I will just sing your name and nothing else. आमा नकळे ज्ञान आमा नकळे ज्ञान नकळे पुराण वेदांचे वचन आमा नकळे ज्ञान आगमाची आधी निगमाचा भेद शास्त्रांचे संवाद नकळे आमा आमा नकळे ज्ञान नकळे पुराण वेदांचे वचन आमा नकळे ज्ञान योग याग तप अष्टांग साधना नकळेची दान व्रत तप चोखा म्हणे माझा भोळा भाव देवा चोखा म्हणे माझा भोळा भाव देवा घेईना केशवा नामा तुझे only thing that I know is your name to sing it my way, is your name to get lost. Vittal was moved as Choka stood there and he was singing this. Vittoba himself came out of the temple And to see Chokka so patiently waiting there, Panduranga embraces him, takes his hand, takes him to the inner sanctum, and he embraces him to his breast. The entire night, Chokka was in the company of Panduranga, in the sanctum sanctorum, singing for him. God was mentioning to him what kind of devotional practices that he should get into. He got directly initiated by Panduranga in the temple to become the greatest devotee of God. And then Vittoba removes his garland, the Tulasi garland, along with a gold necklace and put it around Chokka's neck. The day dawned. Panduranga walks him out of the temple. Chokka is still in garland. Chokka was completely blissed out, drenched in this divine love. He lays down at the banks of the river in trance. He was not able to comprehend what just Panduranga did to him. And the temple priests come in the morning and they enter. They don't find the Tulasi Mala and the gold necklace. But they remember that when they were closing the temple, this Chokka Mela was standing outside the temple singing abhangs. So they look for him, and lo and behold, there was Chokka on the banks of Chandrabhaga, completely drenched in the trance. Love for Panduranga. Of course, they find the gold necklace and the Tulasi Mala around his neck. They punish him. He was tied to the bullocks, and as I was about to be dragged to death, and Chokka was singing, was praying to God. Gava ghali Vittu ata, chalu nako mandir. He's saying, Vittu, they're going to thrash me. Come on. What are you waiting for? Don't walk so slow. Come fast from your mandir. What are you waiting for? The Pandits whip. They don't know what they're doing. They're wondering how did Vitoba's necklace came around my throat. They're cursing. They're striking. And they're saying, I polluted you. Oh, giver of everything. Oh, Chakrapani. Is this your act or my act? Who asked you to put this necklace around my neck? Chokka begs. Chokka is saying, I revealed our secret. You see, God, I revealed to the world the entire secret of the love we have between us. Do not turn away. Now you see, this is another abhang that he is singing. They're beating the ox, the bullocks to move so that they can drag him in the field. The bullocks stood there. They did not move. Everybody was watching why the bullocks were not moving. And the legend goes that Panduranga appears there. He unties him and he relieves Chokka's thing. The holiest of the holy, God himself embraces Chokka Mela, eats with him, a privilege that has not been extended to many great sages, rishis, and saints. So Chokka's abhangs are not just talking about his love for God, but very beautifully exposes this social injustice and the judgment that is made on people because of how they look, because of what their skin color is, because of what their eyes colors are, because of what caste they are born into. Is it all sounding, resonating in America right now? Of course, he was prevented from coming into the temple. He did not care. He puts a hut on the other side of Chandrabhaga and never stopped writing his beautiful abhangs. And in this beautiful another abhang, he says, look how people judge by how they appear. Sugar cane looks so crooked, but holds the juice sweeter than a most beautiful looking fruit. But if one is fooled by the appearance, they will never know its innate sweetness. A bow is crooked, but the arrow it releases is completely straight. If you dismiss a weapon like a bow as a warped one, you will not know its power. A river flows through so many different paths. Sometimes it even flows through places it should not be even flowing through. Dirty fields, abandoned parches, including even burial grounds. If you judge the water by the convoluted path and what are all the things the river has touched, that would be misleading. The water quenches the thirst of us, though it takes a complex route. I'm reading to you the meaning of these abhangs composed by Choka Mela. And then he concludes, like all of the above, Choka is unattractive, untouchable to the conventional eye, but he is only best judged by his devotion and not by appearance and not his birth. उस डोंगा परी रस नहीं डोंगा उस डोंगा परी रस नहीं डोंगा काया बहुलालासी वरलिय रंगा. Beautiful abhang, completely so beautiful. Oh God, I'm 2 minutes. One day, Choka was having lunch under a tree near his hut with his wife. He was not in the premises of anywhere near the temple for a number of years. Panduranga was missing the physical darshan of Choka and decides to visit his devotee. So while the couple was having lunch, Panduranga joins them and wants Soyarabai to feed him as well. They were totally ecstatic to get this incredible, surprising visit and overwhelmed by the Lord's love for them, of course. And in that ecstasy and all that excitement, when Soyarabai was serving the curds to Panduranga, her hands slip and these curds fall on the pitambar, on the beautiful pitambar of Panduranga. Choka was upset and he starts shouting at her, saying, shouldn't you be careful in serving the Lord? Shouldn't you be offering with utmost devotion and complete attention when you are offering Naivedyam to Him? How come you made a mistake like this? Are you paying attention to Him? He was shouting like this. And it happens that the priests of the temple were passing by and they hear this and they think that Chokka is actually telling them that they're not paying attention when serving the Lord. So the priests run to him, and of course they cannot see Panduranga, and they slap him on his cheek very hard so that their fingerprints were on his cheeks. He was completely astonished why they were doing that. Panduranga disappears from the scene. And when they appear, when these priests go back to the temple, they notice that the cheeks of Panduranga had fingerprints of their fingerprints on his cheeks. And there was tears from Panduranga's murti coming out. The priests literally shiver. They couldn't comprehend what has happened. And they they run back, fall on Chokka's feet. Chokka was asking, no, no, no. You are priests. You should not be bowing to me. I am the one that should bow to you. And he was falling on their feet. And then they say, please forgive us. We did not realize what a great devotee you are, that even God has taken your pain upon himself. Chokka says, what do you mean God has taken? So there are fingerprints on his cheeks. Then Chokka runs to the temple because he doesn't want his Lord to be distressed because of him. He runs to the temple. He prays to Panduranga. Panduranga, please forgive. We are all our children. We make mistakes. Why do you have to take my pain and suffering upon yourself, my Lord? Please forgive us. Instantly, those fingerprints disappear on the cheeks of Panduranga. We'll conclude with this beautiful divine soul story. Several years, probably Chokka Mela has written thousands of abhangs. Most of them did not even come into light because they came from an outcast. A few have remained, fortunately for us. The legend goes that one day Namdev was singing abhangs in the temple, and he notices streaks of tears coming down from Panduranga's eyes. He runs and he asks, what happened? What is the reason why you are so sad? Then Vittal says, my greatest devotee has just breathed his last. Chokka was involved in building a fort in the town along with other Mahar laborers in Mangalved. And that while they were doing that, the whole wall falls on a group of Mahars, and Chokka Mela breathes his last. So Panduranga says, please run to this place, Mangalved, rescue, bring him his bones. And then when he reaches there, they already burnt the bodies of several of these laborers. And Namdev doesn't know how to find the remaining bones of Chokka Mela. And then he hears the voice of Panduranga. Take the bones of the people, and when you put it at your ear, if they are chanting Vittal, 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 those are the bones of Chokka Mela. Namdev gathers the bones that are chanting Vittal, brings them to Pandharpur, and a shrine is built just outside of the Pandharpur temple, wherein these bones are kept. That was the place every day Chokka Mela stood and sang for his God in love and ecstasy. So if you happen to go to Pandharpur, the next time you go to Pandharpur, you will find this mandir of Chokkamela right outside Panduranga temple. And this body was privileged to do that and offer my love to him. And yes, you can hear Vitthal, 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 Vitthal from that little samadhi of Chokkamela. I'll close this in the context of a legend that has inspired social movement in India many centuries after his departure. Chokkamela was inspirational to great social leaders like Ambedkar, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, who was also a Mahar by birth. Ambedkar was an outstanding leader, an intellectual and a scholar. And you know, he is the one that framed the constitution of free India. Probably one of the most radical and committed leader for all these marginalized communities that were outcasts, that are also called Dalits in India, that have struggled for social and political empowerment for centuries. Chokkamela was a great inspiration for Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Probably through his prayers to God, Chokkamela probably lit the fire of social movement centuries later in India, which still happens in India. Not just India, the social injustice based on caste, creed, color happens throughout the world. I pray to Bhagavan to create more and more Chokkamelas. I pray to Bhagavan to create these lovers of God who not just focused on social injustice but brought out social injustice through their love for God. My apologies, I took 7 more minutes today because this was my favorite Sant. And we will close with this beautiful, popular Abhang of Sant Chokkamela, where he expresses his joy of seeing Vitthal dance in the house of Namadev and ecstatically describes how beautiful this dance of Chokkamela is. The dance of the mind of Chokkamela in love for his Panduranga Vitthal. Jai Hari Vithala, Prabhu Hari Vithala.
अबीर गुलाल उधळित रंग नाथ गरीनाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग अबीर गुलाल उधळित रंग नाथ गरीनाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग नाथ गरीनाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग उंबरठ्यासी कैसे शिवू आम्ही जातीहीन रूप तुझे कैसे पाहो त्यात आम्ही लीन पायरीशी हो दंग पायरीशी हो दंग गौनीय भंग नाथ गरीनाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग वाळवंटी गाव आम्ही वाळवंटी नाचो वाळवंटी गाव आम्ही वाळवंटी नाचो चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्याने अंग अंग न्हाव चंद्रभागेच्या पाण्याने अंग अंग न्हाव विठ्ठलाचे नाम घेऊ विठ्ठलाचे 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 नाम घेऊ हो निसंग पंढरीच्या वाळवंटी संत गोळा होती, चोखामणे नाम घेता, चोखामणे नाम घेता, भक्त होती दंग. नाथ घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग. अबीर गुलाल, अबीर गुलाल, उधळीत रंग. नाथ घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग. नाथ घरी नाचे माझा सखा पांडुरंग.
Sairam. Now we will have the Aarti for Bhagwan now. Tomorrow we will have the satsang at 7:30 as our Thursday satsang, and then we will be having journey into the life of Sant Tukaram. Please stay tuned for Aarti.